I'm so excited now for this new update. This is actually so wicked, man. This is actually so wicked. Like they're like you know what? I'm so glad they're taking their time right now because this shit's gonna pop off like crazy. So I just want them to send out like a quality, like a quality game. Like at this point, just give us quality, and I'll be so happy.
Oh.
Let's take a look at the patch notes. So first one, we have Shadow Demon. Today we continue with the big patch. 3 more heroes. Shadow Demon. Tier 1. Pepe Hands, Tier 1. You know in Dota 2, guys, this is one of my best heroes. I'm so sad it's just Tier 1. Demonic Purge. Repeatedly purges his target, removing buffs and slowing movement and attack speed for 5 seconds. When Demonic Purge ends, the target is dealt damage. So, how this works is like, it just applies like a debuff on a unit and it'll keep slowing them so they can't like move that much. So probably this slows their movement speed a lot, so they're like kind of stuck if they're melee units. And then this lasts for 5 seconds. It's a really like actually insane spell. It's also a heartless demon. So if you remember last time, there was a life stealer, right, who was also heartless. So actually heartless is gonna be very easy to get, especially if Drow stays heartless as a 1 cost. And then you also have like Pudge or something. Maybe they might change the mechanic of Heartless Alliance into something else. Because having a lot of minus armor early would be way too easy to get. And that seems really broken. And it's also a demon. Shadow Demon in Dota doesn't have a very fast attack speed, like attack rate. So it's going to be interesting. Like, that means if you use like a tier 1 demon and then that's Luna, guys. If you use a tier 1 demon and then if the same demon alliance is in effect, then what if like you can't use any of the other demons? That kind of sucks, wouldn't it? Probably a 3 alliance heartless. Probably heartless to 3. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could be possible for sure. Like a 3 alliance heartless. I can see that being a thing. Luna wants to play. Luna does actually want to play, but it's not time to play right now. It's kind of interesting. So it slows their attack speed, it slows their movement speed. They can't pretty much attack or move during the duration of the purge, which is kind of like a soft stun, we call it, like a soft stun, for 5 seconds on one target. And it purges them so they can't have any buffs placed on them. It's okay. It seems alright. Tier 1, so we're not really having like super high hopes for it. The spell obviously is better as the game progresses, right? Next one, Bristleback. OMG, Brawny. So Brawnies are gonna exist. So we were thinking that Brawnies might be removed from the game because there was the other one. What was it called? The Brutes, because there's Brutes. But I guess Brawnies are staying, and he's also a Savage, so we know Savages will be staying too. Bristleback, tier 4 unit. Bristleback sprays quills from his back, damaging nearby enemy units. Enemies take additional damage for each time they have been hit with quill spray this round. So in Dota, quill spray has a very, very low cooldown. It's like 3 seconds, I think. And what it does is like you just keep popping them out, and it's physical damage. So any units who have like minus armor, it does extra damage to them, and the more you stack on them, the more damage it does. Like the more quills you do, they just keep growing in damage. So it's a really interesting unit. It's gonna be like a tank. It's also a Brawny, so the more kills it has, the more HP it will get according to the current Brawny, right? So it's gonna be pretty interesting. Like, it's gonna be very snowbally, and since he is a Brawny, maybe like it'll be easier to complete the 4 Brawny alliance, or maybe they will change the alliance, we don't know. But it'll be cool to have a tier 4 alliance, tier 4 Brawny, so we can complete the 4 Brawny alliance. This seems like a really, really cool concept. It could be very, very annoying in the future, like how it works. In Dota, Bristleback is one of the most annoying units in the game because 1, he's unkillable, and 2, like the quill sprays just do so much damage once they stack up to like 4 or 5 rounds of spells casted by it. So extended fights is going to be a really big thing, and for like a unit like Bristleback for sure. I mean, even if it is a tier 4 unit and it might be too late, you gotta understand that like you have a 5% chance to roll a tier 4 unit when you're level 6 already. So imagine high rolling a Bristleback and he starts stacking up some of his brawny kills. It's gonna be pretty good. And I'm guessing because he's a tier 4, they're not gonna butcher his stats, right? Like Juggernaut. Juggernaut is like, we have a bad impression of late brawny units because of Juggernaut, right? Because they just change Jug from 2-star to 3-star unit, or sorry, 2 cost to 3 cost unit, but they never like buffed his HP stats. But I think this one is gonna be very cool. I like it. And here it is, Sven Ace. Okay, so number one thing we gotta notice, aces are staying in the game, right? Aces are in the game because right here we say, you see, it's an ace tier unit, so 5 cost. Human scaled knight, scaled for knights, human. Okay, human kind of makes sense, but these two, what? Ace of Knights. When Sven casts God Strength, all allied knights lose their Knight Alliance bonus and gain increased damage per Knight Alliance level for the remainder of the round. God Strength. Sven enrages and gains amplified damage. And then he has Cleave. Passive. Sven's melee attacks strike nearby enemy units for percentage of his damage. Cool. So God Strength is like, you pretty much like amplify based off your base damage. So I'm guessing you'll get like level 1 Sven will probably get like 100%. Level 2 Sven will probably get like 150% or something like that, which is a lot of damage. Because I'm guessing his base damage is probably very similar to Troll Warlord, or a little bit less. So at least he'll have like 170 damage. If he uses God Strength, he'll go up to like, let's say 340, right? So it's going to be very, very powerful. And an Ace of Knights. Well, let's read this one again. When Sven casts God's Strength, all allied knights lose their Knight Alliance bonus. So whatever damage reduction they have will go away. And gain increased damage per Knight Alliance level for the remainder of the round. And gain increased damage per Knight Alliance level for the remainder of the round. So all your knights become like a bunch of monsters who just right click. So they transform from tanks to glass cannons. Sounds like it, actually. When Sven casts God Strength. But to be honest though, you gotta understand something. The Sven himself also gains additional damage for every knight, right? Like every Knight Alliance you have. So this Sven, with the Cleave, he can literally one-shot like lineups or two-shot lineups. Like everything's gonna come down to how much the Cleave is. The Cleave could probably be easily starting at like 50% or more than that at level 1. So level 2 Sven, who has like, let's say 80% Cleave, right? And with God Strength, he'll go to like, let's say his base damage is at level 2. What's Troll's base damage? Like almost 400, maybe like, let's say he has like 350 base damage with God Strength giving him additional 150, blah blah blah. Let's say he'll go to like 800 damage, and then the Ace of Knights also amplify him. He's gonna be like two-shotting units. He's gonna be two-shotting the AoE units, because in Dota how Cleave works is like it does a lot of damage to every other unit. It really depends if they make Cleave into like a physical damage or they make it into a pure damage, right? If it's pure damage, they're just dead. Units are just dead. And also we gotta understand if the bugs come into play, right? The Insect Alliance, and there's like all these insects coming from the sides, and maybe you have to kill them in order to like stop them. Cleave could be a very important thing as well. So no way it's pure damage. Yeah, in Dota when Cleave was pure damage, it was actually insane. Necro or Viper, 4 Trolls and Knights. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities with Sven for sure. I'm really interested to see like the numbers on these things, but having an ace for a Knights, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure like it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. This is pretty hyped though. These units are hyped. I'm actually really hyped about Bristleback. Bristleback sounds wicked because he's a brawny. So the biggest things that we know is that brawnies are staying, Savages are staying, and Aces are staying, right? These are the biggest things that we know. These three things are gonna stay. And also because they're scaled for Sven, that means that it's gonna be really easy to have scaled for Knights now, right? Because you're just gonna run like Viper with your Dragon Knight, then you have Sven, boom. Now you got scaled in your lineup. Pretty cool. I like it. I like the new patch. The patch notes. Like I'm really hyped for like the upcoming content. Like I'm so excited. I don't know when the next one, like when they're gonna actually update the game, but I wonder how many more parts there are to preview, you know? These 3 parts is insane. Now, look how many heroes they already added. They added, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 heroes. There's already 10 new heroes added into the game. That's like minimum of 10 new spells that you need to like add into the pool that you already have and try to like figure out how the game will function with these 10 new spells, right? Like even adding 1 spell to the game completely changes everything in the meta. So this is gonna be like a insanely brand new game when you play it.